You gave my life to me, set me free, set me free. The finest years I ever lived.
Well, good morning, Tim. We're on week 4 of,
Turning the corner on the halfway marker for this
yeah,
series, right?
this
After
is
the
sort of
year,
like the hump week of the
right?
series as opposed to hump day. And the theme this week is light and dark. And in honor of that, I've worn a very bright hat uh,
Yes,
today.
yes.
Not there's a lot more darkness with the Broncos than light. So we're
Uh,
going to talk about another mega theme, darkness and light. And of course, I am the light of the world is one of Jesus's big sevens of I am this or that. And as is expected, we see the theme of light and dark throughout, and really amplified in today's portrait because
mm,
there's a poor guy who lives in the dark,
mm.
and by the end of the portrait, he goes into the light. And true to form, this clash between light and dark, and a blind man healed on a religious day, the Sabbath, totally brings out this theme that we're seeing every week as well, which is the clash between systems. This man who has been nothing in his society, just a cursed man who's blind, is about as defiant as you can imagine, as he's talking to the heads of the religious state. And it's such a fun interaction from a guy who really could care less about being left in or put out of the synagogue because he's just been put out. Life has put him out already.
How could he care, really? I mean, like if you had been blind your entire life and you were seeing for the first time, how would any of that like really matter? I mean, like we've many of us have had life experiences where things have just like drastically change in a minute, right? In an instant. And all of a sudden things that we were like super preoccupied with become completely immaterial. And so I think
Yeah,
those give us like I think that gives you a little insight into what it might be like if if you had spent your whole life blind and all of a sudden you're seeing, and these people want to talk to you about legalities, right? It's like,
mm-hmm.
I don't know. I was
Yeah,
blind. I see.
yeah. We didn't cover this one, but a few chapters earlier, we got a guy who's been paralyzed for 38 years, and he's rather blatantly told to pick up his mat and carry it. And this also happens to be on a Saturday. And so suddenly, the big issue for the religious establishment is, why are you carrying something?
Mm,
The fact that his legs work for the first time in decades is immaterial. Here we have a guy who's never seen, never once, and but this happened on a forbidden day. And beautiful illustration of religion versus life. And so we'll have some fun with that.
mm.
The painting you picked is from the Impressionist Monet.
It's like a cultural center, and they had
Okay.
an impressionist exhibit last year where they were projecting on multiple, kind of you would go into a room and you'd be surrounded, immersed. That's what it was like in the Impressionists. And then, yeah, so we went to that, and then we went to the Denver Art Museum, not the same day, but around the
Yeah.
same time. But yeah, this piece hangs in the Denver Art Museum. This is on exhibit, the original.
Okay.
You can stand and stare at it.
Well, the fact that you've gone to two different places that have art makes you much more of an art aficionado than me. If I go to a place with art, it's because it's a coffee shop where they happen to be hanging a local artist's
Right.
paintings and
Right.
for sale, kind of a thing.
Hey,
What do you like about this painting?
I like the interplay between light and dark, light and
Mm-hmm.
shadow. On the drive into Denver, Lisa was reading a how to view art, right? I think on the Denver Art Museum's page, but like here's practices that will enrich the art viewing experience. Like start up close and pay attention to the layering and the build up and the brush strokes, and then step back and look at it from a distance, and then step back again, and then step to the right hand side, look at it at an angle, and then step to the left and look at it at an angle that way. And so I was just practicing that, like, you know, because dude, I am no art aficionado, right? Like when I was in my teenage years, I was in Europe with my parents and went to some of the museums there.
Oh,
This After that, this is probably the first time I've gone to a museum to view art,
okay.
and I'm 51 last year. But I'm
What,
just practicing that, right? In front of this piece of art, and all of a sudden, like I have tears rolling down my cheeks, and I'm like, okay, what's going on with this, you know?
mm,
Um, and I think what was impacting me was, in particular, the light that is like breaking through on the bridge and under the bridge and through the bridge. And you know, it's not just breaking through darkness per se, it's breaking through fog. And I think
mm,
um that spoke to where I was at that point in time.
mhm. Yeah. It's interesting how you have contrast. You have the factories in the background,
Hmm.
I guess. And and it looks pretty foggy. And then of course the light is the thing. You see the light in the sky at the top of the painting. And then somehow the reflection of the light is way more brilliant than the light itself. And even in that reflection, there's some clouds interfering. I guess that's maybe
Yeah.
morning mist or something, evening mist. Uh,
Yeah.
and then you got a bridge. The bridge is pretty dark, except for three of the openings
Hmm.
have light coming through, two
Hmm.
especially.
Yeah.
Um, it's funny how we have pairings of three. We have three
Hmm.
smokestacks that I can see.
Hmm.
We have those three openings from the bridge. Um, what's with the three little guys? And are they standing on an island or what are they
You
standing
know
on?
what is going on there? I don't know. To me, they look like three people,
Mm.
um, or three individuals. And yeah, it looks like maybe they're standing. I don't know. It doesn't look like a boat, but it is kind of interesting that they're, I guess, not centered in the light depth wise, but centered in the light more or less left or right. Like the light is like focused on them, it seems, or
Mhm.
maybe if not focused on them, like the focus is coming on to them.
I would be mad to stay right on just to have you back again, just to touch you once again.